organization, Constructing Boderlands Personalities. I'm Arzu Oskal, Chair of Arts Alive at CSU. We are a campus initiative that supports art-centered research and project development to promote interdisciplinary learning. We would like to begin the programming by acknowledging the Kumeyaay people, traditional custodians of the land on which we gather tonight, and pay our respects to their elders, past and present. This program was coordinated by School of Art and Design faculty member, Kerianne. We want to thank her and thank everyone involved in the production, especially our panelists for joining us tonight. Dr. Shelley Orr from School of Theater, Television and Film, and Dr. Carlos Beltran from Center for Latin American Studies, and especially our guests, Manuel Urueta and Celina Galicia of Xingaderas. I'm going to invite Professor Quick to say a few words, and thank you. Did I come talk?
Thank you so much for being here. I just want to say thank you to Arts Alive and also to the Student Success Team. We were able to bring Xingaderas here to do a workshop with our students and to give this presentation tonight, so we're very excited to have them here. So I'm actually not going to introduce our guests. We have a student, Adriana. She is going to give a little bio and tell you a little bit about our esteemed guests. Thank you. So you can hear that. Thank you. Adriana is one of the members of our Student Jewelry Co-op and a very valued member of our studio. She kind of keeps us all fed, all fed and very happy. And so thank you very much for introducing our guests, and please welcome Adriana.
Thank you. Thank you, Carrie. This to read. Based in El Paso, Xingaderas is actor-director Manuel Urueta, photographer, filmmaker Celina Galicia, and a host of collaborations from the U.S.-Mexico border and beyond. Together, they create newly invented and reimagined folk tales through papier-mâché mask making, photography, and film inspired by traditional alebrijes. Xingaderas create new mythical creatures that illustrate the parallels they create, adapt from traditional folk tales, contemporary urban legends, and personal narratives about living at the border. I have the honor to be in the workshop for the 3 days, and all that I have to say is thank you, because it was very, very therapeutic. It was very nice to see the community together, and all of us were able to get the best of us through the art of the papier-mâché. And I can see very well how that art brings us together, which I believe is one of the objectives they have. And then another thing I found is the papier-mâché really open your mind to create, and then, I don't know, open your heart. So it was an amazing. I cannot even explain how beautiful was that workshop. So thank you so much. And I have them here, Celina and Manuel. Thank you for being here.
The audio is really horrible. I don't know what's going on here. Just use these. That way the doesn't keep it.
Wow, thanks. Okay, that's now ready for you. Well, since I'm holding the microphone, I would like to invite, after this talk, I would like to invite everyone back to the School of Art and Design for a little celebration with the artists, where we have installed the work from the workshop that the students made in the installation gallery on the 4th floor of the School of Art and Design in Art North. So I hope you'll join us after this to celebrate and check out the work that was made. All right, Celina.
Hi everyone, hola. My name is Galicia. I am part of Xingaderas. Thank you so much, Adriana, Carrie, for the introduction, Carrie, and everyone else for having us here. It's been a pleasure. It's been amazing to meet you all during the workshop. I'm gonna introduce Xingaderas for a little bit. This is a papier-mâché collective that's been going on for almost 8 years. And so we've been doing Xingaderas all those years, and Manuel can tell you a little bit more about it. Señor Carabe.
Hello. Hello. My name is Manuel Urueta. I am part of Xingaderas. And I like to write, I like to act, and I love to do papier-mâché. This is Death. My favorite character, one of my favorite characters, and it's very special to me because it's part of me. There is light and there is dark in me, like there is in everybody, and that's why it's kind of special, because we want to kind of like give a little bit of light to the dark that we all have, which is part of all of us. Death is something that is going to happen to all of us, and it's the only thing that is for sure. I think that's why it's a very important character. And we put it in our drawers, we cover it with sand, we cover it with wood, we cover it with everything. And maybe we should be a little bit more conscious about that matter and talk a little bit more about that. That's why it's one of my favorite characters. It's kind of like to shine a light on the dark. And another one I have a little notes that I brought. The other one that is very special to me, as for the characters in our narratives, is the devil, and all the different colors, as in all the different cultures. Because I believe that's what we are. We are a collision of everything as humanity, and it's a responsibility to be aware of who we are and adaptive and acceptive to everything around us, no? And so we also kind of shine a light to the little devils, because they're also kind of like trying to break norms and different kinds of thinking that maybe could be seen dark to many, no? Like the monsters may be seen like hideous, but they could have like a bigger message or bigger emotions to be aware of, no? But those are two of the most important characters that we use in our narratives. We try to adapt them because we try to break barriers. We are a collision of everything, like I said, and that's basically our work. We feel a necessity to find the balance of the light and the darkness in ourselves, and that's what we collect. We as fronterizos are also aware of that, like when lack of identity, where you can't feel welcome in one place and not welcome in the other, and you start forming a new identity, you know? And that's how languages are built. It's a collection of cultures, or like food, or different ideas, religion, everything, no? And we believe a lot in that because there's a lot of love in that, and we also believe that uniting cultures with that, with the colors and forms, through the characters, may bring that maybe may seem monstrous to many. Like I said, we try to understand the good and the bad in all the context, no? In all these dualities that we put on, like life and death, good and evil, light and dark, and we try to understand those contexts, and we feel the necessity to fusion everything, but together, the necessity of this collectiveness that we are capable of is part of our nature, as well as our competition. That's part of our nature, but maybe we could also appreciate that other part and push it forward to achieve new things, to achieve new ideas. I do believe that love takes you a long way, and I would like to mention my high school teacher, Miss Anteri, Barbara Anteri, which was a great inspiration to me. I still talk to her on Instagram, and I had the honor of working with her daughter. She's a great artist animator, Nicola Anteri, and it's been an honor collaborating with her, and I feel that it's very important to pursue collaborations such as this one, which we're very honored to be part of. Thank you to Carrie, to Arsu, to everybody. Everybody is very special to us. It's like a dream come true. And yeah, art has been part of us since we were little kids. Film is also very important to us, and we try to push it. We try to combine, to collision the mediums of papier-mâché and audiovisual context. And yeah, now I'm going to. Now, Celina would like to say a few words as well about
So yeah, as you said, we've been doing this for a long time. Manuel started back in high school and started papier-mâché as a hobby. And when I met him, we met actually through film. We were shooting a short film where it was I do more like the camera work, so I'm always behind the camera, and he was acting. He's a great actor, so. So yeah, I met him there, and there was this chemistry, and we just started keeping on collaborating. And yeah, I found out he didn't even have Instagram back then, and I was like, you should open an account for your work, your pieces, and we started. That's when we named it Xingaderas after. Okay, so a chingadera is it's something, it's a thing, and it's in Spanish. Anything can be a chingadera, and he was like, well, that's my art. It's any chingadera. It's a combination of multiple things and all that stuff. And so we started going to arts markets and also shooting short films. This one is it's a really old short film we did back in 2017, I think. And there we used the masks. And so yeah, we started just doing these things for fun, but then we started catching attention of people. I don't know why, just kidding. And so yeah, they started calling us for these workshops. We started doing exhibitions as well in the border Juárez and Paso, but also we've been to Austin, we've been to Fulton, Mexico City as well, and we've had this very nice connection with all the people that we give the workshops to, because we do multiple for different ages and different targets of people. So we work with kids, we work with students of college studies, and we've done for adults. I think that's the beauty of this art, that it's like you can collaborate, and we've actually done like a few workshops where we're mixing kids and adults, and it's very interesting how they also like came up with things and collaborate. So yeah, that's what we've been doing for this past 8 years. Yeah, and so we also wanted to show you one of our short films we did. He directed it, and I did the photography. This was back in 2021. It was a pandemic film. We didn't use masks on this one, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it. If you want to play it, Karen, please.
There's a certain mask. There's a certain mask that it's been used. No, it is visible, but it's a certain mask that it has been used, and I would love to share a little bit of comment on it after the film. It's just 8 minutes of your life. Thank you so much for watching. What else? Oh, okay. Talking a little bit about the masks. And when we do the workshops, we also like to talk about the physical masks that we use as humanity in all over the world, and not just the physical, but the inner ones, the ones that we cannot see. And I find that very interesting because it's fixed. Yeah. It's very interesting because I find that absolutely anything could be a mask. You know, for example, if you have a little bit of dirt on your face, you could become a whole different person. You could become a whole different character. And it just with a little bit of dirt on your face, and with makeup, with the dresses of all the dances, all those different things, and also I like to mention in the workshops, the voices. I think the voices are also very essential part of the mask when you're transforming into this other being that you're trying to achieve. Because, for example, we tend to when we talk to our mothers, it's not the same way as we talk to our fathers, or it's the same way as we talk to our sisters or brothers or our dogs. No, we even have like a certain voice to communicate with our dogs, and I find that really, really cool. I use it myself. I have a mask to communicate with my dog, which is his voice. I love it, and it's a form of expression. It's a form of us. And so
enjoy.
Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Hágase, Señor, tu voluntad, así en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. No nos dejes caer en tentación y líbranos del mal. Amén. Muchas gracias, señorita. Las que sean están.
whether or not your approach to film or image or mask, how those are different or the same for you.
We like to use like a lot of, we love making stories, we love hearing stories, we love listening. And I think that on our craft, we like to like put a lot of like kind of like symbols or this kind of imagery that could kind of feel like that way to demonstrate certain feelings or yeah, basically play more with the visual to generate like that emotion. We love to play with that because we don't like to give you everything like on a golden plate and so you could just devour easily. Like we try to make people think with our stories.
Yeah, what he said.
I have more questions, but feel free.
Oh, we can share this.
Okay.
Hello. Well, hello. My name is Figueroa from the Center of what center is that? Latin American Studies, and I'd like to start highlighting something that I noticed when Manuel put on the mask. He was a different person, right? He was possessed by the mask. Actually, I would like to say that because he didn't say anything. He was representing his role. The mask represents the death, right? Because we know in many civilizations and many cultures, masks are a metaphor of the relationship between death and life, right? So Manuel was quiet, representing what he wanted to represent, or whatever energy he got from the mask. He didn't say a word. When he took off the mask, he started talking and telling a lot of interesting things and fun things. And that's the approach that I like to give to this event. So, you want to say something? We can just.
But it's your. No one's your turn.
So yeah, we also like to give each piece, every mask, like a story, like a background story, or maybe like we create one, and we also like love playing with our surroundings. So whatever this day it snowed like really heavily in El Paso, which is not very common, and we're like, ooh, let's just like take the Diablo for a walk. And so we went and then we created like this narrative of like El Diablo just waiting the train tracks. And so yeah, like you said, you become like something else when you're behind the mask, and that's what we like to play with a lot. And yeah, that's our narratives.
So I'm Shelley Orr. I teach in the School of Theater, Television, and Film. And it's a long-standing tradition in theater to do mask work. And so even people who are maybe dedicated to realism and want to have, characters on stage that are looking like real people, dressing like real people, and interacting in environments that are very familiar, realistic, oftentimes still, even dedicated teachers who are, prefer realism will often want to have a mask workshop. And that often will help the actor to be able to access all of these different parts of themselves, right? And that the mask gives you permission to access the things that you might not want to own yourself, right? That you are able to, but that are, of course, facets of you. And so it's very interesting. I think mask work sometimes the students might make the mask, sometimes they select the mask, but always it's imbued with a spirit of some sort, and that in some ways allows you to examine outside yourself, parts of yourself, right? So this thing that's there, that's imbued with this, that then you can take on and let it take over, right? At least temporarily, right? These are all, I think, things that obviously have very long history, and it's wonderful to see in your works. Thank you.
Thank you. And I like how you said about like it lets you, like the mask lets you go inside yourself, you know, to actually see you, and so you can connect entirely with oneself, you know, with yourself. I agree.
Yeah, I guess I'll say something. So I guess from my perspective as a jeweler, I think about the way that we put symbols on our body to communicate with others, and in a way I think about your masks in a similar fashion, that it's something that we ornament ourselves with and to communicate a certain type of thing. And I guess I'm curious about your inspiration to create creatures and to embody both fantastical beings but also real animals, and how you kind of parse that and how you think through those things. Like, what inspires you to make El Diablo versus something else, a real animal?
I like monsters, and I believe that we all have like demons inside that we need to confront, and it's I think it's part. It's also that's part of our process, I guess, like to show ourselves all of those different forms of ourselves, and we're still learning, and we're never still learning, and it's very anonymous.
I guess we also get inspired a lot by all the different cultures that uses masks. In Mexico, there's like a vast, there's a lot of different masks for different rituals and dances for every region, and each mask it represents something else, and it has, like you said, different symbols. And so, for example, I don't want to talk about the.
Sorry, yes. Like Celina said, we take a lot of inspiration from all the different states from Mexico. We love all of the mask makers. If you guys ever go to Mexico City, I'll recommend you to go to Galeria Eugenio. It's an amazing place. They have one of the biggest mask collections, and Maestro from there is an amazing person. We also take a lot of inspiration from Pedro Linares, all of his dynasty in Mexico City, which Pedro Linares is the creator of Alebrijes. Sorry, I was crying a little bit right now. And also Manuel Jimenez from Oaxaca City, he's the wood carver, and they kind of have this duality of dreams and nightmares. Pedro Linares will showcase these fantastical creatures with more monstrous, more hideous, with pointy ears and pointy teeth and pointy fingers. And as compared to Manuel Jimenez, it will show them more dreamy, more fragile, more beautiful, aesthetic, more beautiful. But for me, they're both amazing, and it's just interesting how it's nightmare and dream, but at the same time, it's the same thing. That's an interesting inspiration.
Yes, I would like to comment that the tradition of making masks, at least in Mexico, in the region that was called Mesoamerica, from more or less Sinaloa, Mexico, to Costa Rica. This tradition started with the Olmecs, which is the mother culture in Mexico, in about 2,500 years before Common Era. And the Olmecs represented, it's interesting how on one side, when we have elements or materials such as wood, it doesn't preserve after centuries, right? But the mask found in the Olmec heart were inside the river, were in the river. So the medium, the water, made them with no disturbance. Physical chemical processes stabilize the mask. And when the archaeologists found them about 40 years ago, they had to take them with them a container of water, with the same water, in order for the mask not to break, not to be destroyed, right? And this is the oldest examples of masks painted in red. As you know, red represents the death, the absence of blood, the red color, right? And that tradition continued, right? It was continued of this cultural tradition of making masks and for ceremonies or for festivities, for fiestas in Mexico, and extended through all the regions in Mesoamerica. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of communities nowadays, indigenous communities that still practice and make dances and masks for the celebrations, for rituals, for ceremonies. And you, artists, who are promoting and letting the communities know about this wonderful art.
We also, we also like to give these pieces like a temporal space, because as you said, those masks were preserved for years and years, but for us they're like ephemeral, and these masks we also like to burn them once they finish the cycle, and so we burn it in a ritual, which is it's in my birthday. we burn masks in our birthday. We just recently started doing that a few years ago, as that's as a ritual of fertilizing. Yeah, I did use it.
Yeah, we use that ritual to ourselves to kind of like we talked the other day, to fertilize our future, and it's also part of many cultures. They, after dances, after war, after pandemic times, they usually burn the masks after the ritual, no, and the fire becomes part of the ritual as a rebirth to the next thing, no? And we really appreciate all of those rituals. We take life itself as a ritual, no? As being conscious and about everything that we do.
I think one thing that I would just want to add is what I really appreciate about the work that you do is not only the cross-border aspect of it and wanting to think about a region and think about, we were speaking the other day and had that thought of, the clouds don't know that there's a border. The ocean on our side, right, doesn't know, that is not aware, right, and so that we think about our whole region as a holistic and not a divided. So I really appreciate that element of your work. And the other element that I want to highlight is the idea that so much of your practice is in sharing. As Franz was saying, sharing and giving workshops and in many ways, obviously practicing your art and doing what you do and disseminating it and having exhibitions and that sort of thing as we expect. But that idea of wanting to share that skill with other passage, and to allow people to create their own. And I'm excited to see what has been created this week. But that idea is I think, really important. I just want to highlight that, there's a tradition in theater. Obviously you're probably familiar mostly with the sort of for-profit theater, Broadway, etc., that sort of thing. There's really a whole panoply of different kinds of theater, and one particular one that I want to highlight in the context of our artists that we have this week is theater and social change, theater for social change. That the whole goal of theater is not to display skill or to entertain, but rather to change the world, right? To make things better than they are right now. And so there's a key figure, a Brazilian, Augusto Boal, who is credited with this kind of practice. And I just wanted to say that what he would do is, instead of, many people in the theater world will be like, oh, we will do something for the community. We will go put on a wonderful performance, right? We will take this amazing, skilled group of people that we have, and we will take it to the people, and they will enjoy it, and then we will leave, and that will be that, right? Augusto Boal said, no, okay, but that does not do anything. And so instead, he took a skilled group of people and went to Peru and to other places and asked the people there, what is happening here? What is going on? What is wrong? Basically, what do you need to amplify? What do you need to center? And came up with the idea of spectators, people who would be not skilled, right? Not trained actors, but who know the experience that they have and know what needs to be brought, attention to, and he empowered them, right? He said, please, you go up on the stage and you put on the performance for the community that needs to be brought here, as opposed to something from somewhere else, and that kind of thing. And so I really love the idea that you are bringing your skills, bringing your knowledge, bringing your inspiration, and passing it, right? Passing it on to 15 others here, and everywhere you go, it seems part of your practice. So I really just want to highlight it, and thank you for that.
Yeah, we like to, like we always say that we want to decentralize this craft of the papier-mâché, that it's known mostly in central and southern Mexico, and not we're from Juarez, so not in the northern part of Mexico. You barely see papier-mâché. You would see more wood carving or something like that, but metals as well. And so we want to take that craft to the north of Mexico, southern Texas, or even here. So we spread it, and then we plant that seed, and then preserve this craft that it's just for it to keep going and for generations, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah, preserve the craft, and more cartoneros, more papier-mâché artists. We invite you to use the craft. It's a great craft, and it's also very conscious as well, because we're reusing materials, we're recycling materials, which is also important. And yes, you could find it. You can find a lot of the materials in the trash, basically, and you can use them for a lot of different things. It's so versatile, so open. And yeah, we would love to invite you to the gallery. The work is done by these amazing students. They did an amazing job. They threw the TV out of the window. It's an amazing, curated amazingly by Kerry. She did an amazing job, and we would love to see you there. It's a beautiful space, and we're really thankful and honored to be here. Thank you so much for the time that you gave us, for listening to us, and looking at our video, and also the students. Thank you so much for being here as well. It's an honor.
I wanted to give a little time to invite questions from the audience. We have just a few minutes left. So if you have any burning questions, yes, burn.
Can you talk about how it's like Can you talk about how it's like working as a pair, like working together? How does that work? Even before you guys like work together, like
Are you asking about collaboration and what it's like to?
Yes.
Like, how do you develop a collaboration?
Right.
But you
Like,
mean
how did
like
it start?
as a couple or?
No. Like,
Oh.
how did it start? How did you guys like realize you work well together? Like, yeah.
I feel like there was like a little chemistry between us when we were working like on the set, and we started talking, and then we discovered that we share like a lot of like same things, and it was like I'm very like honored, you know, like to have a partner that we share the same things and we work together. Like it's such a pleasure for me. Like it's such an honor. I'm very grateful for that. We basically have a lot of communication. We talk about all of our ideas and projects, and yeah.
Well, basically, he's like a crazy one. Like, he's always like, oh, I have this idea, and so he's been like pulling me to do things and working together, like as a couple. I think it's been challenging sometimes. We disagree sometimes, but I think we've managed to make it work somehow. And it's really fun. I really enjoy it, and so yeah.
And what about other collaborators? Because you work with so many different types of photographers and actors, and what about those types of relationships? How do you pick collaborators for different projects and maintain those relationships?
We feel like that collaboration is the key on uniting like us as humanity in all the senses, and we use it on the arts by basically collaborating with anybody that wants to. If you guys want to collaborate, we're super down. We're super down, and yeah, we love to collaborate with anybody. I think that's why we've had the fortune of working with so many artists in the border in Juarez and El Paso, and they're all amazing. You guys should check out the art in El Paso and Juarez. We're part of a resident gallery called Ultranova in El Paso. You guys are more than welcome to check it out. And there's just a great community over there as well, as we have seen here also in San Diego. And I believe that working in projects together with other people really does a lot of impact, not only in oneself, but also to the community, especially because, like two heads think better than one, and I think that's mainly the reason.
Yeah, and it's also, I feel like papier-mâché is like very versatile, so that has given us a chance to collaborate with like a lot of artists, and mostly like visual artists that we already know, photographers, videographers. So yeah, I think that, I don't know, honestly it's been like mostly through social media that people find out about us, and then they're like, oh, let's collaborate and let's do something. So we're very open to collaborate with anyone. And so yeah, I don't know if anybody else has another question.
In the back.
I was just wondering, when was the first time you started doing anything with papier-mâché yourself? I'm from Albuquerque, Mexico, and so unlike northern Mexico, papier-mâché actually made it there, and I learned it in maybe second grade, and I haven't really picked it up much since then. But after being here, I really want to. I was just curious, how you got started, taking it more serious.
how I started taking it more seriously.
Yeah.
I would be nobody without her. Honestly, she pushed me a lot to like keep making more. I did a lot of practice with her birthday presents and Christmas presents and all that stuff. And yeah, I guess I don't know, like you just couldn't stop, you know?
Yeah.
You just couldn't stop.
I feel like you were already making stuff, like, and yeah, but I don't know, like somehow, I mean, he's been doing that since high school. He was like, what, like 15? He's almost 35. No, he just turned 34. Anyway, yeah, so he's been doing it for a long time, but yeah, I feel like when we got together and then we started just like experimenting and doing more stuff, that's when it consolidated, like, as a brand. And so yeah, since we started like going to markets, but yeah, I think that's it. Like when you started like giving me stuff for my birthday, like, I was like, I'm gonna monetize this. So yeah, that's basically it.
Do we have maybe time for homework?
What is it about papier-mâché? Like, there's so many forms of art, and like, I mean, I love papier-mâché. I'm also from New Jersey, so I made it there too. But like, I don't know, like, there's so much versatility that you guys were talking about, but like, I feel like every form of art has that. So like, what about papier-mâché does it for you? And it doesn't have to be like a group answer. Like, you can each have your own thing.
No, and I agree with you. It's the passion is everywhere, no? And for me, my passion is paper. I don't know why I love it so much. Like, it's but I do appreciate all forms of art. I love ceramics. I'm actually gonna take a course on Saturday on the gallery that we're part of, and I love to experiment, to be honest. But I just can't stop. I love the feeling. I love the smell. I love how it feels. I love how it looks. I love how it, like, when you crunch like, if it's not enough layers and it's like and you just like have to add more layers, you know, like, and when it's like all dry, like, I don't know, the flakes, and my cat loves it too, and she loves it. Like, we all love it. I don't know, it's like pancake mix almost, and I don't know, but we do appreciate it, and that's why I feel like collaboration has brought us up as well, with like the experimentation with different people and the different mediums as well, and I feel that's very important. Like, keep experimenting and collaborating, and yeah, so.
I feel like, yeah, that too, but it's also really cheap. It's like that part of like recycling and just like finding the materials anywhere you go, so it's like very cheap, and I don't know, like, you can make like everything with it.
You can go to your local newspaper and they'll give you like 3 or 4 stacks of newspaper that they don't want, or you can also like go around like with family members and gather like a bunch, and dude, like, with so little you can make like big sculptures, and also like lights. I think that's also like very. And don't get me wrong with clay. Like, clay is amazing, but you know how it could be like a little bit heavier, no, and fragile as well, which is also the case with papier-mâché. But it's lighter, you know. And I like that. I also like that. So.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much to our panelists and our wonderful